The final vision, the book of Revelation. Let's jump right into it. The revelation of Jesus Christ, the biggest key to understanding Revelation. It is the revelation of Jesus Christ. And 1 Peter 1:13 says, at the revelation of Jesus Christ, the major change is coming. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him. Now, I've had someone challenge me and tell me that him was the Apostle Paul. No. The Apostle Paul is long gone by this time. This revelation was what God gave in his Spirit. So the Spirit can reveal it to John. And this is why John was locked up in Patmos. So many times things happen to us. Can you imagine that John is on Patmos and he says, oh, why am I here? I'm the only one. No, he was in the Spirit. His mind was with God. And because of that, he got this revelation. You see, if you are in a place where life happens to you, you're not going to step into the purposes of God. We are in a fallen creation, and it doesn't matter what happens here. God will use it to push you towards what he wants. There was a purpose for this man. He says, God gave unto Jesus his Spirit, the Father and the Son together, to give to his servants, which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified by his angel unto the servant John. Now, when he talks about by his angel, many times in the Bible, when he talks about the angel of God, he actually talks about Jesus Christ, the spirit man that can manifest. And we pick that up in Revelation 10 when he says, the angel came, he had a rainbow on his head and clothed in a cloud, and his face was like this. It's Jesus Christ. Come on, guys, it's Jesus Christ. So Christ came and he revealed to John what was happening. And John was this final pivotal turning point in time, in the purposes of God. So it set the turning point of the 40 years of tribulation is now over. And now it's going to be the time of the church. Because in Revelation 2 and 3, we read the letters to the church, which God gave unto John. So there's something wrong because we only read the letters that was written to the infant church in the missionary journeys written by the apostles. These guys are now dead and gone. And only one man, John, got this command, write. The command on John was to write it down and give it to the churches. And this whole prophecy is there so that the church can understand what was, what is, and what is to come. But we have to tend to the letters that God has given to the churches, not just the letters that were written in the time of tribulation. The minute the church is going to wake up to these letters, we're going to be overcoming. Because in those letters to the churches, he says, to he that overcomes, to he that overcomes, to he that overcomes, to he that overcomes. And then the reward is kingdom, 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 kingdom to 7 churches. 7 meaning God is working on the earth. Now that 7 churches have 7 physical churches that was in Asia, but it also is the pattern of the 7 church ages coming. And it's also the pattern of the 7 kinds of churches you have in every age. It is spirit. You got to read it like that. So now this man had to write. And there's only one point where he said in the book of Revelation, in the revelation that came to him, where he says, don't write. And that is in Revelation 10, when the angel of God had a little open book, and there were 7 thunders, no lightnings. In other words, there were decrees made that it's going to be, but there was no lightnings. And he said, eat the book. It'll be sweet in your mouth and bitter in your belly. Anything that's in the belly must go waste. So you cannot, what is in the belly, come out of the mouth. Now, this is the problem what Israel had. They exchange light for darkness, good for evil, bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter. So this is why John the Baptist, when he came to prepare the way for Jesus in the wilderness, because they made their promised land a wilderness, he ate locusts and honey, bitter and sweet. So what he did is he also allowed the bitter to come out of our mouth. And we know what happened. He lost his head. God is now pushing and urging his church not to take the bitter and let it come out of our mouth. In other words, stop murmuring about your situation. Eat the sweet. Taste Jesus. Get your eyes and fixed on Jesus. Do not look back. Forget what's behind and do not look back. So now John was writing to these 7 churches, and he is bringing the revelation of Jesus Christ. In other words, everything that Jesus Christ did. This is like, wow. Now, if we go to Revelation 19:10, I love this. He says, I just love this piece. And I was, I think, in England when my husband was alive. And in a service, I read this. And this has been with me for, I would say, 20 years. And I'm only getting the revelation of it now. Please, as time goes, revelation grows. And I don't claim to know it all. Every day I read, I find more. This morning, I just listened to the whole book of Revelation just to go through it again, because this is the most important prophecy. He says in Revelation 1, if you read this prophecy, there's going to be a blessing on you. He doesn't even say if you understand, if you just read it. Why? Because as time goes, revelation grows. But there's a major warning. He says in Revelation 22, after everything was written down, he says, if you add or you subtract from this prophecy, your name will be subtracted and there will be added tribulation to your life. In other words, if you don't take what's in this prophecy, you're going to go on detours. That is so unnecessary. And you're going to maybe lose your life here. And you will not be manifested as a son. So I remember in Bible school, they warned me and said, do not read the book of Revelation now. It's confusing. And you're going to confuse yourself. You know what I did? I went for it. And I have been through this book thousands of times. And every time I read, I see more. I see more. And how do we know that what we see is real? When it's confirmed by the word in other places. So this is very, very important to confirm the word. Now listen to this in Revelation 19:10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said to me, this is the angel that appeared. And he said to me, see, thou do it not. I am your fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus Christ is the spirit of prophecy. Wow. The first time you ever read about the testimonies is when Moses had to put in the ark the commands of life, the tree, the dead stick that budded, the tree of life that's going to come alive, and the pot of manna, the bread of life. It was a threefold testimony of Jesus Christ. So life, life, life is the testimony of Jesus Christ. And this is what is being revealed in the book of Revelation.